Okay, seeing that, let's move to consent agenda. Do I have a motion on this?
Resolved that the Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, hereby takes the following action on the listed consent agenda items. A, approves payment of the bills as presented and listed in section Roman numeral 7A of the October 8, 2013 Board Agenda Packet. And B, approves minutes from the meetings held on September 10 and 24, 2013, open and closed as presented and amended in the October 8, 2013 Board Agenda Packet.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ed Jepson. I know that the minutes were revised and submitted out and are part of this packet. I know there's some questions on bills, so let's start with bills first. Tim?
Yeah, there was a question on a payment to the Academy Bullet Swim Club. This was for an underwater camera and some software. This came out of the money that was donated to us. It was $10,000 that came from the Otters. And I think it was kind of arranged ahead of time that the Otters were going to pay for it. And then when they gave us the money, it was, we reimbursed the Bullets for that.
Okay.
There was a payment to Illinois Board.
Do we own that? I'm sorry.
Pardon? I'm
Do
sorry.
we own that? The
Yes.
camera? Okay.
There was a payment to the Illinois State Board of Education, $9,500. This has to do with the reimbursement for expenses for students that are in orphanages. The state gives you an estimated payment based on the prior year, so they sent us $29,000 based on our 2012 numbers, and when the actual claim was filed by LADSI, it came in at $19,000, so we had to send back $9,500 at that point.
So we got 28,000.
We got 29,000, and we were really only entitled to 19,000.
Okay. Another one?
There's a payment on an entry fee for girls' swim invite. That was, there was money that was paid and deposited into a board account that should have gone into an activity account, so that's just a correction of on that. There was a question regarding legal bills from Scariano, Himes, and Petroika. We increased the budget on that this year to cover some additional legal expenses. I think through the first 4 months, we've spent $34,000 out of a $140,000 budget on legal expenses this year.
Well, we made it, we're within the budget we made for their services, is what the question was, right? Because we had a budget for them, they bid on the work we hired them for negotiations, which was independent of what our budget line item was, right?
Okay, if they submitted a bid for what they were going to charge us for negotiations, I'm not aware.
Well,
I'm not aware
we
of that.
got RFPs from all the firms, and they offered a price for it. Thought that's what we approved. Could you check on that, or ask,
yeah.
is it okay if, because Kevin's not here?
Yes.
Or put it in there that we had a line item for legal, which
Mhm.
we're using 2 firms, but we looked at 5 or 6 different firms and hired one just for the negotiations based on a price they gave
Okay.
us for it. I believe, that's my recollection,
We'll check it out.
please.
I'll look at it. Okay.
And then there was another one?
And then there was one other question regarding the leases that we have on the cars that we use for driver's education. We get those cars annually from Riverside Ford. We've been using them for about 16 years, from what I understand. They give us really whatever cars they have available, in the, I think more in the Fusion and the Focus range. I know in the past we've looked at other dealerships. Riza's prices are about the best.
Well, when we go back, I mean, the thing is, how often when we talk, later we're going to talk on the policy and the bidding practice.
Mhm.
Is this one we actually periodically look at? I'm not saying you're not getting the best price, but I've never heard it come up, and we're paying them, I don't know if this is the whole payment for the month, about $600, but
Yeah.
we're paying them money every month, and I've not heard whether we bid it or how long they do it or whatever.
Yeah, as I say, it's an annual lease. We get new cars every year. We can certainly look at it next year and see what other dealerships can provide.
Is it a one-year deal?
Yes.
Well, again, I'm not, as long as we're following the policy and you're looking at it, I'm not asking you that if it's within the policy, you don't have to bid, you don't have to bid it. Just
Okay.
curious.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions on bills?
The DLA Architects, we paid them $4,800. Is that, how are we
What
spreading
page?
that out?
is it? I'm sorry. Here, sorry.
15. Page 15.
That
Yeah.
was their services for the month of August.
That's isn't it capped, or is this,
That again is an item where they, yes, that they bid a certain amount of money to do the safety reference plans and the life safety.
so we're just billing a portion of it, or they're billing a portion of it now, or?
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
Any other bill questions? All right, let's move on to minutes. You received revised minutes today or yesterday, Mary Ann?
Yesterday.
Okay, any questions on the minutes? Seeing none, Mary Ann, go for the vote, please.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Mr. Jepson?
Yes.
Dr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mr. Goodchin?
Yes.
Mr. Cindy?
Yes.